She collapsed in the kitchen. One moment she was stirring soup and softly humming the lullaby she used to sing to our daughter, and the next her body hit the floor like someone had cut her strings. The sound wasn't just loud. It was final. It broke something inside me. By the time we got to the hospital, she was unconscious. Machines keeping her breathing, wires tangled around her arms, a tube down her throat. The mechanical rhythm of life support was louder than anything in the room. Doctor spoke gently, vaguely, but it was a nurse, quiet, nervous, who changed everything. She stopped me in the hall, voice shaky, eyes filled with something close to fear. "Please," she whispered, "bring your daughter now." I didn't ask why. I just went. Emma was in the waiting area, small hands clenched into fists. Her fingers were ice cold when I touched them, like her warmth had stayed behind in that kitchen along with everything else that made sense. We walked into the ICU together. What I saw there didn't just take my breath, took the air from the room. There she was, my wife, still and pale, the woman I'd loved for over a decade, tethered to machines. But she wasn't alone. A man sat beside her, holding her hand like she belonged to him, whispering her name like a prayer. He looked up and I knew him, her coworker, the one she swore was just lunch, the one I once shook hands with at a holiday party. Our eyes locked. "You're her daughter?" he asked Emma softly. "No," I said, firm and low. "She's mine, they say." Betrayal is slow, creeping in bit by bit. But this, it hit all at once. A thunderclap of truth. The next hour blurred. Nurses talking. Emma tugging on my sleeve, asking if her mom would be okay. I kept calm on the outside. Inside, something collapsed. 15 years, shared schedules, breakfasts, bedtime stories. I was the dreamer, the planner. She was a light, or so I believed. I thought about the quiet promises whispered in bed, our baby asleep between us, her hands on my cheeks once, promising never to lie, but the signs were always there. Glances that darted away, word dinners that ran too long, laughter that stopped when I entered the room. Then there was a note, a love letter, sweet and secret, tucked into Emma's lunchbox last month. She laughed it off, but I knew better. I didn't say anything then. That night, I sat alone in the garage, staring at the silver plaque on the toolbox she gifted me, to my forever. Forever, I realized, had an expiration date. So I stopped grieving and I started watching. I synced her cloud account, installed software, quiet, invisible. I saw everything, messages, photos, deleted emails. He called her Sunflower. She called him Always. That used to be our word. I traced her steps. She wasn't going to yoga. She was going to room 409 at the Rosewood. I documented it all. First, I thought she was planning to leave me for him. Then, the toxicology results came back. She hadn't fainted from stress. She was being poisoned, and not by me. I dug deeper, found his history, restraining orders, dead girlfriends, accidental overdoses, patterns hiding in plain sight. He was getting her out of the way slowly, carefully, so he could start over with my daughter. I don't know if she knew or pretended not to. Didn't matter anymore. I had what I needed. I stayed quiet, let the hospital run tests. Meanwhile, I met with a lawyer, moved every asset to a trust for Emma, froze our accounts, updated my will, filed for custody. When she finally woke up 3 days later, I had the divorce paperwork ready, a restraining order in motion. But I needed one last moment, something precise, undeniable. I invited them both to dinner, her favorite place, the one with candles and soft music where we used to celebrate anniversaries. She looked worn. He looked smug. Before we ordered, I slid a folder across the table. "You should see this," I said. Inside, photos from the hotel, message screenshots, GPS logs, the tax report, and my petition for full custody. He froze. She went pale. "You tried to replace me," I told her, voice low. Then I turned to him. "And you tried to erase her. I know what you did. So does the hospital. And tomorrow morning the police will too." He stammered, then disappeared before dessert. She sat there crying into a napkin. The divorce was swift. I got the house, the savings, full custody. She was left with court bills and supervised visits. He vanished like men like him always do when the spotlight turns on. She writes sometimes letters, apologies. I don't read them. Emma's healing. She doesn't ask for them anymore. And me, I've learned love without truth is just performance. And I'm done clapping. Betrayal was my best teacher. Taught me patience, silence, timing. I don't regret what I did. I regret believing without proof. But I corrected that with facts, with strategy, and a final move so precise it left no room for questions. Just checkmate.